Hey everyone, it's Steph from Happy Place to Grow. I'm not at home, as you can see. I'm here in my classroom. I am here a little bit early on a work day. We are going to go back to school in person on a limited schedule. We'll have a group of students coming in Monday, Tuesday, virtual on Wednesday to kind of change over things and clean, and then we'll have a new group of students coming in on Thursday and Friday. Yeah, it's a big undertaking. So because we're having in-person school, I am going to be working in my room, and I thought, hey, I'd invite you on in to see my setup. I'm not really sure. It's been a long time since I've been in my classroom, and when I closed up, I just kind of closed it up, you know, with the end of our school year. Kind of crazy with COVID. So I'm back in. I've been here about an hour, just kind of walking around the school, trying to get a feel for what things are going to be like. So come along and join the adventure, setting up your classroom for a limited schedule. I'm going to have to be measuring 6 feet of distance between desks. I have 11 students coming on Monday and Tuesday, so I have to have at least 11 desks set up 6 feet apart. That's going to take up, well, a lot of space. I'm not even sure how that is going to work out. I have to also measure my carpet because they're going to clean it. They are going to allow us to use our carpets. So, all right, let's get ready for an adventure. Here we go. All right, so the first thing I think I'm going to try to tackle is my desks. I'm going to figure out that 6 feet distance, and I'm going to try to arrange my desks over here. This is normally where I would have my desks. And I was thinking if we had that plexiglass on everyone's desk, we could bumper them together. That's just a dream I'm having. Anyway, I'm probably going to set up the desks over here. I've got to find a yardstick because I did not bring a measuring tape. Duh, I don't know why. I was not even thinking about that. So that's my first adventure. All right, so wish me some luck. Here I go. So I have my handy dandy yardstick. Wow, I'm just kind of getting a feel for that 6 feet distance. It is going to be, it's going to take up the whole space. I'm just saying, it's going to be crazy. So I enjoy the journey. So I said that I was going to be putting the desks, but I do need to kind of shift furniture, and I'm thinking I'm probably not going to be able to have all of my cabinetry, or it's just going to have to be pushed to the wall. So again, a big undertaking. So, you know, normally we're thinking about decorating and our room needs to be cutesy. However, it's going to be a lot different with this in-person, but we have to be distanced. But hey, you know, we're teachers and we got this. One thing I did want to show you, this little, no, it's not a cabinet. It is some storage, and last year a teacher was getting rid of it because it was kind of falling apart, but I was like, oh, I could use it. So I did. However, it really drove me bananas because a lot of the drawers wouldn't slide in properly. So I was actually going to get rid of it. And then I started thinking about, I saw this in a magazine, Really Good Stuff, how they have a desk organizer box that you can buy. And I started thinking about, I didn't really want to invest a lot of money in that. So I started thinking about these drawers, and I thought, I can use these because we're going to have 2 different groups of students. However, we're going to be sharing the desk space. So the group A kids can put their, I don't know, I haven't even slid this into the desks to even see, but I was thinking about putting these and letting the students arrange their materials, their glue, their crayon boxes, their pencils. And then after they leave on Wednesday, of course, it's a turnaround day. All the students will be virtual. So I'm thinking they can just pull this out. And even though this is like a work in progress, I'm definitely going to have to duct tape some of the arms that hold that slide, because they're like falling down, but I thought duct tape would work. Anyway, anywho, I can just slide their things, maybe just slide it back in, or I'll find some place to store them. And that way, they just pull their stuff out, and then we shift the next, after we clean the desks, we shift the next group of students' items into the space. Again, you know, we're in different times, so I'm trying to really think what is going to work for the students, what is going to be easy for me, easy for them, and so I don't know. I will keep you posted on how that goes. I haven't, like I said, cleaned these out, and I haven't even tested them out, but that was my thinking. I also was thinking, and I did manage to, see, these are just really annoying. I did manage to go to Walmart, and another thing I thought of was these. Now these are a little bit wider, but I thought, hey, I could spray paint. Now these won't last as long, but they're free. Hello, spray paint these, and these could actually shift in and shift out. I, again, didn't measure them with the desks. I just, that ideal, you know, it just popped in my head, and I thought, hey. And I went to Walmart the other day, and they had stacks of these. So I just said, hey, do you mind if I take those? And she's like, yeah, just take them, because I'm just gonna break them down and get rid of them. And I'm like, okay, great. So again, these are just some of my thoughts as I'm trying to get these desks 6 feet apart, and then realize that 2 different groups of students are going to be sitting in the same desk. So again, here we go. Okay, I am not going to sugarcoat this. This is a really difficult task. So my original plan was just to arrange the desks. However, I realized I have so much stuff, and then as I'm pushing it, I'm realizing that space is, you know, every little inch is going to count, and I'm probably going to have to eliminate a lot of my shelves. And so I did press this over here, but I have another cabinet like that, and I realized I'm not really sure where I'm putting it. So right now I'm shifting, because my calendar and date board were on that cabinet over there. And let's see if we can, I'm sorry. So I'm shifting it, and I'm going to put it over here. So it's really crazy, and I'm not really sure how. I did measure my carpet, and I am using my yardstick. So the conversion for the yardstick is, it's 3 feet, of course, and then, so 2 of those spaces, and I can start putting the desks out pretty soon, but I'm going to put up this little calendar paper, fresh and clean, and I'm going to take that cabinet that you saw that I gave you a bumpy ride to, and I'm going to put it over there. Again, it is going to be probably the most difficult room arrangement that I have ever done in 26 years. So again, come along for the journey. We'll see how this all works out. It's going to be a long, tedious day, I can tell. And do you ever feel like this, like in the summer, and you come back and you just feel like you were an expert at putting things together and being really efficient, and then you realize that it's like you lose all your skill for judging. So I went and got all this paper, and I'm like, oh my gosh, way too much for this space. You know, I mean, and then of course we were way out of practice with this disruption in school, you know, leaving in March. So, woo, I am way out of practice. Okay, I'm going to continue. The journey continues. Trim up this board. I'm going to add some border paper. And, you know, as I'm looking at my things, I'm thinking too, the clutter that sometimes accumulates and the busyness. I'm a very, like, let's put it here everywhere. So a lot of busyness. I'm going to try to eliminate and streamline things. Okay. Okay, well, here I am. I have just got back from a break. I had just a time of a snack time and just sat outside for a minute in the nice warm sunshine. I ate some rice cakes and an apple, and now I'm back to work. Before I took a break, I did get this bulletin board paper arranged with my calendar. So calendar and then helper chart. So I did get that much done. I did start arranging my desks. However, I only have 3, and already 3 desks are taking up like a lot of space. So I'm gonna definitely have to have at least 11, because on group A days I have 11 students. So that is literally going to stretch, and how far they're coming up. So yikes. Okay. So that is an undertaking. Also, I am thinking about doing a lot of individualized things. So math materials are going to be housed for each student in a Ziploc bag. So I've got to do that. All the materials they'll be using, and I do have a lot, so I think I'll be okay with that. Just put their name on it. And since I'm thinking of using these, I just realized all of this stuff has to go somewhere. And so I had already, my whiteboard tray was over here because it was so heavy. And I started to stick it on a different shelf, and then I thought, normally I house these and I have the little whiteboard erasers and markers. I keep them and pass them out as needed. However, this year, so I don't even have to store these, I can just give one to each student, and that will be theirs for the rest of the year, and then I'll probably have a few extras, but hey. So that problem is solved. And speaking of individualizing things, usually I do a self-selected reading time with my students, and we go through all of the routines with it, where they have to get their just right book, they know their dot color, they select 6, they browse the basket, all that stuff. This year we're not going to be doing that, at least at the beginning. No browsing. They're not even going to be able to pick their own books, unfortunately. So I'm going to be picking on the days that they're here. So group A, they'll be here for 2 days. I'll be selecting their books. Now I created these book boxes years and years ago when I first started teaching. They're made of a Capri Sun. This is actually even before days of Pinterest. So I don't even know where I got this idea. But you slice a Capri Sun box in half diagonally, and then decorate it with contact paper. And now it won't hold all books because some are wide. However, this will be where they're going to keep their books on their desk. These are the only books they're going to be selecting. So I'll try to get several choices for them, and that way they'll have their read to self books right at their fingertips. I did purchase some new contact paper because I don't know, over the years, well, you know, graffiti and art and all that. So I'm going to just kind of redo these, and I only have 16, so I'm gonna have to make a couple more because I think on my roll right now I have 18 students. So that's something I'm working on. And that way, I mean, I know some people are probably thinking they're going to go out and buy little baskets, and I have a ton of baskets. However, I'm like 3 years away from possible retirement, so I'm not going to sink a ton of money into 5,633,000,000 baskets. I'm just going to use what I have. And these I haven't used in years, but hey, you know how teachers are, we keep everything. Like I'm always this, pack rat. Ugh. Anyway, I'm not going to say hoarder, but teachers are kind of hoarder people. But you just never know when you're going to need something. So I kept these, and now they're going to come in handy. So I will be working, I think I'm going to take these home and work on them this weekend. Okay, so I'm going to continue with the desks, and when I'm finished, I will show you how deep and wide this arrangement is going to have to go. Wish me luck. Whew. So what I'm doing is I am moving out the extra desks. We have gotten clearance to take out the extras. We're going to store them in another room. So I took all my chairs down. I'm going to take my tables and just put them here, and then when I get some help, I'm going to move them to the music room, put my name on them. However, I've got 9 seats. They're not quite distanced here. I just was trying to rearrange things. So I'm getting there. I've got some shelves over there that I've got places to put those, so when I finish my desks, that's what I'm doing. And the thing with this is it's just really physical. So I'm having to pick up the desks and put them out in the hall. So I imagine by the end of this day I will be extremely exhausted, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get a lot of steps just from walking back and forth. I don't want to drag the desks across the floor because they have waxed, and I already did scratch up a little bit, but hey, it's to be expected. So I continue moving. Once I get out all of the extra desks and then I rearrange the shelves, I'm going to make sure that the desks are totally distanced correctly. And I think it would be wise of me to put a little X, because when the students get here and they move, how students are wiggly, I'm going to just make sure that I've got a little X on the floor, and that way I kind of know that's the spot for that desk and that desk. I don't know how long the tape is going to last, but hey, whatever. At least I'll have a little marking there. Hopefully it'll last a while. Okay, I'm going out to stack it up. All right, I'll check back with you in a little bit, maybe after I get all the desks arranged and the shelves in order. So, and it is now almost 11 o'clock. So I've been at it pretty much since 9 o'clock with a lot more to go. But hey, for a teacher, this is usually the way it is on that first work day. It's a lot of manual labor, and I don't know if you're like me, but I don't get as much done usually on the first day, but there's no one here, so that's kind of a good thing. I'm really having to be focused. All right, I'll check back in with you in a few. Okay, quick little note, I'm moving this shelf. I am using the hand truck. You know, I just got to thinking about how many things we share and our community, and I'm realizing that all that has to go away. So all my little reading chairs, my shared baskets of pencils and crayons, gone, out of here. I better get this moved. Well, I've got this moved, and now I'm gonna reorganize. This was a shelf I didn't really use it that much. Last year I just stacked things on it. So I'm thinking, sorry, that's terrible camera work. I'm thinking that I'm going to take those drawers and empty and maybe put things on these shelves. And I'm really thinking too about how I need to just probably purge. Less is more, maybe. Again, we collect things. But anyhow, I was thinking as I was moving things about how many items that we use in our classroom that are shared or the students get to use, and there's a sense of community. So I've got a rack of pencils and crayons in baskets in case they lose those. Colors, they can go just grab one. So I'm thinking, okay, we're not going to be doing that. I mean, they can still get a crayon, but I will have to get it for them. And then I have these cute little chairs for my self-selected reading time. So I'm just going to take those home for right now, because when I get everything arranged, putting those chairs 6 feet away from other students, I'm going to try to set up centers. I've got, and I'll show you this when I pull this out, if I can get that far today. I've got some dividers that go on a round table. I had those years ago. I stopped using them a couple years ago. Again, you know, you never know when something's going to come in handy that you think you don't need anymore. So I did keep that, I think. Hopefully I kept that divider. I didn't make it. It was made by someone, and when I was doing my student teaching, she was then, after I did my student teaching with her, she was my mentor, and she gave this divider to me, and someone made it, so it's pretty cool. And I think the students can work in these spaces as long as they're not directly by another student and they're sort of blocked. Again, with my plexiglass on everybody's desk, hello, they could be bumper to bumper and see their friends. But be safe with the plexiglass. Somebody get me some plexiglass. That would be awesome. All right, I'm gonna get back to work. I've got shelves to move. Whew. Okay, it is almost lunchtime and I've gotten a lot accomplished. So I'm working over here right now and I'm reorganizing. I think I mentioned before that this shelf was just kind of wasted space last year. So because I'm using that cart back there for other purposes, which I will show you in just a minute. So what I'm doing here is housing my folders, my writer's notebooks, some phonics materials, because this is where I will work with students on their reading skills. And I wanted to share with you what I'm going to be doing for data collection this year. So in order for us to refer a student that we feel like might need help in an area, we have to have data collected as they work through the year. And I was thinking about this over the summer. I was going to create a spreadsheet, and then it dawned on me that I could just take a simple spiral, one for each student, And you know how you can get those like sticky arrow tabs? I can just section these off. One section for math, one section for writing, one section for phonics, spelling, and one section for reading, and behavior, because that's all part of it. So in this one spiral per student, I can collect all the data that I need. So if I have to bring a student before the committee for strategies, I've got all their information housed. I don't have to reinvent the wheel. And so I went down to the supply closet and I started collecting spiral notebooks. I still need a few more. So I did want to share that with you. Also, I am still working on the desk situation. As I'm working, I'm realizing that, you know, again, so much about school is community and sharing, but this year, not so much. So I've started pulling out my highlight markers and my expo markers. I'm going to clean these and make sure that each student has their own to use, so that we're not transferring, if this is even possible, germs in school. So I'm working on that. And yikes. Oh, I'll just grab this one since I almost tripped on it. Anywho, I'm so excited. These do fit in the desks as I was hoping. Right in there. It doesn't hang out. And again, I had said that I was going to let each student put their crayon box, their pencils, and then they're going to be in school Monday, Tuesday, or Thursday, Friday. I'll just pull out, and I have to shore this up a little bit with some duct tape because some of these are just falling apart, but fingers crossed, I think that might work. And then I can just put each student's name, and that will be a way to share these desks. And the other student that has to use the desk won't have any contact with the student's materials that is there before them. So I'm excited about that. I've gotten all the spare desks out, and I'm still working really hard. So we will just, like I said, continue this journey. I'll try not to trip over anything else. Okay. All right, it's time for lunch. So it's time for lunch. Hey, I'm done with the lunch. It is about 2:30ish. No, I didn't eat lunch for 2 hours. I ate lunch. Well, actually, I started getting to work. I don't know if you're like this too, but once I start thinking about what I want to do and I start doing it, I don't want to stop, because I feel like once I stop, that's it, you know, it'll be hard to get motivated to finish it. So I was moving my shelves and hauling some furniture to another space that I'm not going to use right now until we get back to, you know, normal. So because I don't know if you can see, but my desks are going all the way almost to my exit door. They're not really spaced correctly quite yet, because I'm going to end up having to put a few way up front just to get 12 in, because on my first session, Monday and Tuesday, day A or A group, I have 11. So I'm setting up 12 desks just in case I get another student. They'll probably put them on B. My B day is going to only have 8 students. So we'll see how that plays out. I was able to push all of my reading materials over to the side, and then I have my round table ready for setup with my center sectional, which I did find. It's up in the cabinet, up at the top of the very tallest cabinet. I can't get it down because I don't have a ladder. So the next time I come, which is Monday, couple things I have to bring. I'm going to bring some rags for cleaning. I've got some Clorox spray, and I'm going to swipe everything down, and I don't want to use the few wipes that I have, those precious Clorox wipes that I had from last year. I'm not going to use them yet. So I'm just going to bring my own rag and my Clorox bleach. I'm going to clean on Monday, and I'm going to get everything really settled on Monday, and I'll get that sectional down. But I'm pretty happy with the way so far I've been able to manage all of my materials. I feel like I have an open space. My concern is students that are far away from the smart board. You know, I teach first grade, so I always have my little ones on the carpet with me. I feel like that's where we can really get the best bang for our buck. And of course, they're not going to be here on the carpet where I can monitor and make sure they're focused. So that's going to be challenging. I'll keep you posted as we take this journey. I'll keep you posted on how learning is going. I just spoke with my principal, and she was demonstrating to me how she has to take an atomizer and clean the building every day. It's like a scene from Ghostbusters, no kidding. Like, she's got this backpack, and it's like a fumigator, and so she has to go in every classroom. So therefore, every evening, I'll have to make sure that all of anything on the desks are put up, and then of course, for sure, 100% name tags are going to be laminated. What my plan for my name tags, because 2 students are going to use the same desk, I'm going to just put the little Velcro. Usually I tape my name tags down onto the desk, but I'm just going to use those little Velcro buttons. That way I can stick student A and then rip it off, and of course put it in their little tub, and then put student B right on there. I'm really thinking that we're going to have a lot of extra work to do. We are. I'm thankful though for the opportunity to spend even a little bit of time with my students. I feel like young kids need that contact, and since this is a new group, I've never taught them, I've never met their families, so it's going to be important for us to make a connection in case, heaven forbid, but it might happen that we have to go remote totally, but at least we'll have a little bit of a connection because we'll be in-house in person. So I'm just crossing my fingers and hoping that we can get a little time in. It'd be great if we didn't have to go remote, the whole school, so we'll see. It is going to be a different year, really different. But, you know, as teachers, we have to rise up to a lot of different challenges that we face, so I think we can do it. All right, so I'm going to finish up here. I'm going to work on some bulletin boards, and I'm going to straighten the shelf behind you, which has all my reading and language arts materials. I'm going to tidy that up and just organize a little. And then I'm going to head out for the day and return back on Monday. So I will continue to record, and this will probably get a little lengthy, so I'll do it in sections. You know, I'll do it in different video sessions. That way it won't be so long. So I hope that some of the tips and some of the struggles that I've experienced today will benefit you when you have to go back into your classroom. If you're like me and you're having to go in a plan with a plan that is not normal, you know, I hope that this helps you. If you're totally remote, you're probably sitting back saying, I'm glad I'm not doing that. So, all right, until our next journey time here at the schoolhouse, setting up for the 2021 school year. As always, have a good one.